What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Wizards Outlook. We got Cardell Dudley Jr. here with us. Got our guy Ahmad Garnett. What's going on, Ahmad? He was last with us during the Kenner League. Got out to his first NBA game. Always a great thing. Ray's here as well. Raymond Lyons. Wilson Tarver Jr. And we're gonna get straight to it. Joel Embiid. Love seeing the Wizards. He's rapidly approaching, moving his name on Ray's list of Wizard killers. Um, Earlier this season, I think I don't think it was 50, but he was flirting with it. Because he
48.
had okay, we're gonna call it 50. He had 29 in the third quarter of that game. This one, he spread it out a little bit more evenly distributed. But for Washington, it was a close game. They fought hard, but look, man, they fell short to one of the better teams in the East. Ahmad, we're gonna start with you. Just your thoughts on the game, then Cardell and Ray.
Joel Embiid, like you just mentioned, very dominant. Came out there and dominated Gafford. Gafford used some fouls. I think he shouldn't have gave up some petty fouls, a couple of slaps on the wrist. I feel like you have to use the fouls better, especially against Embiid, somebody who's going to get in the post and make all of his shots during that game. Offensively, I thought they did play well. They spread out the ball. They did a lot of good things well, but just coming into that fourth quarter, just got really sloppy. Started to see some lacking on defensive rotation and some unnecessary steals. So I feel like they just need to get better at that to close out the game.
Cardell.
Yeah, you can harp on that big, but it wasn't just him. Tyrese Maxey also killed him in the second half. They both combined for 39 of their 71 points in the second half. Kelly Oubre as well had 10. They didn't look. They had the top two players on the floor. You gotta make it difficult for at least one of them. And B had to roll in the first half so much that Maxey didn't need to be aggressive. And then in the second half, when the whistles wasn't going away because of their bench production, because of the balance scoring attack from the starters, Maxey got aggressive, along with B not really feeling anything. And that was the game. You know what I mean? That pretty much was it is. Because honestly, Philly didn't play great defense tonight, but they had the top two players on the floor, and they made more plays down the stretch, and that's how they were able to get this win. It always comes back to the defense, man, with the Wizards, because had they got a couple more stops, like for instance, why is Embiid dribbling 6 or 7 times with Gafford guard and no one's rotating over to at least make them think about it? It's just isolation. Of course he's going to go for 50. I'm pretty sure he came in here with 50 in mind. So you got to try something different to disrupt that. And not to say he can't pass, because he had a triple double. He had 7 assists, but still, he had 6 turnovers. So clearly, when the Wizards did help, they were having success. Why not help more? But we've been talking about this mess all season. It hasn't helped. So I'm not going to stress out about it. It is what it is. Joel Embiid did what he should do, dominate. And that's why the Wizards fail.
Right.
If they just decide to play a little bit of defense at some point, they will be in good shape. They put up 126 tonight and lost. I mean, that's just where it starts and ends with them, man. Like it was embarrassing a long time ago. Now it's just comical. You shoot 57% from the field, 40% from three, and lose. But you put the other team on the line 34 times, you only got there 8. You're not being aggressive. You're shooting a lot of threes, and not putting any pressure on them. They took care of the ball. They only had 11 turnovers, but they didn't put any pressure on them and caused them to turn the ball over. Philly only had 11 turnovers too. Like you're the less talented team, so you have to do something to try to compensate for that. You can't just go blow for blow with them because you're overmatched and underarmed. Like you can't have a shootout with people with bigger guns than you. That's just the long and short of it. And like you said, Wilson Embiid loves seeing these guys. He has basically 100 points this season in 2 games against them. At some point, maybe they'll be embarrassed enough to try to do something about it, but it's not looking like it right now. And yeah, multiple people had their way. Maxey had 26, Milton had 19. You know, they played them tight. It was a close game going down the stretch, but who do you have more faith in at that point? The Wizards or the Sixers? The result of the game should tell you the answer to that. You know, they had some crucial turnovers late in the game, and that was a wrap. They played you. It doesn't do you any good to play well and also allow the other team to play well. Like, it's 62-60 at half, and I knew it was a wrap at that point. Like, you come out and have that type of first half and let the team be right there with you when you're in the position you're in as a basketball team. Like, that doesn't bode well for your chances. So, I mean, like Cardell said, man, there's no need getting worked up about it at this point. We 20 plus games in, we know who they are. Just hoping at some point they show us something different.
Yeah, like you guys listed it all out. And I think one of the sadder parts, you just mentioned what they did offensively. This is probably one of the few nights where you had like relatively efficient games from Kuz and Jordan together. It hasn't happened much tonight, but again, because of the thing Cardell mentioned earlier, you know, that thing we've been talking about for a couple years, it goes to the wayside. All we're gonna remember is you lost a winnable game, and Joel Embiid, instead of flirting with 50, actually got 50 this time. And it was sad. Some of the late game turnovers, when they did get a couple stops and a couple of missed free throws, they had some runouts and couldn't capitalize on those opportunities. You know, you gave Philly another crack at it. And yeah, like Cardell said, you're giving Joel Embiid like drill work, 7 dribbles, 6-7 dribbles. You gave him 2 rhythm dribbles and change. He's going to hit. Like, he's going to hit.
That's what I mean. He was always in rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't do anything to disrupt it, throw something down to make them think, make them bold. And the rare times that they did, they had success. Because, like I said, he had 6 turnovers, and that's when the Wizards had the lead. You got to do that with a great player. It's just too easy, man. It's too easy. I felt like he would at late they was trying to hide him on a bunch of guards and stuff like that. Why not use those guards, Poole, Koulibaly, and all that? Why not have one of them attack him? Just to keep him thinking, at least keep him honest, man. It's not that hard, though. I don't understand why they're making it so much harder than what it has to be, man. You know what I mean? Like, if he gonna give you 50 and damn near triple double, make him work for it. I don't even know my man was sweating, though. I couldn't tell. Like, seriously, he walked on the floor, it looked dry as hell. Like, it was no work. It looked like warm up. It looked like pickup basketball just with a bunch of people in the stands. And it shouldn't be like that in a regular season NBA game. You know, he should have had to work. You know what I mean? So work a lot more, that is. So another great night at the office for him.
Yeah, so that kind of takes the segue to the player of the game. We're just gonna skip past through that. You know, I think we've all said Embiid more than enough tonight already. X factor for this evening. Cardell, we'll start with you, then Ahmad, then Ray.
I'm gonna go with Anthony Melton. I know Maxey had a big game, but that's his average. He did his average. You know, I expect him to. He's gonna be an all-star. If he's not, it's a crime. Probably all NBA player as well. But Anthony Melton, especially with the clutch free throws down the stretch or whatnot, man, he exceeded his average, and he was a plus. You know, 19 points, 5 of 10, 2 of 4, 5 from 3, 7 of 7 from the free throw line, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals. Hey, man, he did it all. So, I mean, he was definitely the X factor, man. You know, so the thing about it, if he doesn't have his 19, if he just have his average, which is like, I believe like 12 or something like that, the Wizards won this game. So they needed his production, even with Embiid having 50. You know what I'm saying? That goes back to my point. Had they just got a couple of stops, they'd have won. Because I'm looking at the final box, you know, the analytic part of it. Their defensive rating, Philly's defensive rate was a 120.6, and Washington was 122.5. I mean, that's how close the game was going in their direction to get a big win over Eastern Conference contender. So, but hey, as some people say, the Wizards gonna wizard, man. So it is what it is.
Man, can only control what you can control. On to Ahmad. Yeah, X factor for this tonight, and then Ray.
I think the X factor for tonight, I'm gonna have to go with just the lack of penetration they did in the fourth quarter. Specifically, Wes Unseld mentioned Kyle Kuzma and Denny did not penetrate at all in the fourth quarter. And that's what really set them apart. You gave Joel Embiid the chance to get to the line so many times. I know we said his name so many times, and Kyle and Denny just did not get to the lane at all and draw fouls. So I feel like the lack of penetration was definitely the X factor tonight.
Ray.
Yeah, I go with Milton as well. I think Cardell laid it out perfectly, man. Like it's a 5-point game. He had 19 points. You know, that was unexpected and needed. But also shout out Koulibaly, man. He did his thing tonight. It's good to see him continue to progress. You know, despite what's surrounding him. You know, hopefully he continues on that trajectory.
All right. Y'all had any more to add before I hop into the comments on the game itself? All right. And keep in mind, you know, not a lot of time to think about it. They're up to Barclays to take on the Nets on Friday night. And then a couple of days later, they go to Philly to see these people again.
I think one thing I could take away is Wes mentioned in the presser. They had the season high in assists today, 39 assists. So, you know, they did good on offense, and we mentioned that just the lack of defense and letting Joel Embiid just easily go out there and get 50 is just a problem, and it's an issue they have faced all season. So, but 39 assists, I feel like offensively, if they just get that defensive part together, if they ever do it, it will be good for them because we know they can score.
Hey man, we're all waiting for that other end to be taken serious as they do the part where you get to shoot the ball. The energy's a little bit different at times. All right, turns to the comment section. What's going on, Michael Kirksey? We appreciate you. Said 50 ball. No need to ask. I think you saw about player of the game. Yeah, I wasn't trying to. I hate having to ask it. Trust me. We're doing well. Hope you're doing well. Also, you guys were talking about Bilal just now.
Yeah, he's shining. And he's one of the few wizards that threw a different look at Embiid in the first half when he ripped him in the backcourt and got the dunk. That's what I'm saying. Like, you know what I'm saying? He made Embiid not even bring the ball up no more. He's like, all right, you know, that was it. That was one and done. Just off that adjustment. You see what I'm saying? He had to also switch on the maxi. Like that's what I'm saying, man. Like your rookie is willing to try different things defensively to try to win the game, man. That's sad. And I want to hear, hey man, he's fresh. He should be doing that, dog. Y'all best, man. Y'all getting paid a lot of money. Y'all should be able to do it too. If you have a jersey and you touch that floor, you should be able to do it. I at least saw we know Gallinari is up there. We saw him at least battling and being physical with him and stuff like that. Trying.
I was about to say Gallo. I think after Gav fouled out, saw Gallo like.
Nah.
You know, go ahead.
For a stretch because his ankle he limped off for a while. That's when Gallinari came in, and he was fighting with Embiid. You see what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because like Embiid had like 15 in the first quarter, something like that, something crazy. You see what I'm saying? So, I think he finished with like 21 for the half. So all that fighting kept him contained in the second quarter only, and then he went crazy in the second half. But he was being physical, and all, that's what I'm saying, man. Like you got to do that. You got to give him a good look, different looks. You know, it's not hard, man. You gotta give great players different look. You keep giving them the same look, they're gonna kill you. It's common sense.
If we could have copied and pasted Denny's first half performance to the second, it would have been big.
He went to hell when he tried to drive and he got hit. Then he fell and they didn't call the foul. It's what we talk about with Denny. When he mentally checks out, it's a wrap. When he gets in his own head, it's a wrap. When he's not in his own head, he balls. So after that play, then he was done. I can't remember another play he made except for when he had the dunk late when the game was over.
He's on his way to a solid one. Yeah, Bilal, good work again in green to what you guys have been talking about with Bilal. Area 11 to you. Also appreciate you as well. Yeah, those two need to take notes from Bilal on being aggressive to the rim.
Yeah, that was me. That dunk. I got a good photo of it. It was he caught back on Reed.
Hey man, it's almost like you go down there with bad intentions, things work out.
or if you late on rotations, things don't work out.
That too. It goes both ways. Friday, Cam 40 ball Friday had an off night tonight.
Forgot about him. Yeah, the professional scorer since high school. Yeah, it has a chance to get ugly. It has a chance to get ugly, man.
You can see the hunger and dudes. A lot of our players just here so they can get paid. Said Michael Kirksey, shaking my head.
And Ahmad pointed this out before. The Wizards actually had one of the top scoring benches in the league. And a lot of that we all know has to do with those youngins. Like you saw Butler get a lot of minutes. Obviously Koulibaly and all those guys, he's been playing a lot. It's a reason for that, man. Like they come in, they just compete. Almost like if you compete, good things tend to happen. If you just consistently compete, man. It's not hard, but another day in the life of the Wizards, man.
And shout out to Butler tonight, getting some early minutes tonight and continuing to make the most of his minutes. Just thought he was solid, which goes a long way when you're lower, when you're at the back end of the rotation. Even little things like tonight, you got to start somewhere to take advantage of those opportunities so you can get more of them. So shout out to him because he's typically been part of that group. There was that stretch where they were coming in late and changing the game. Hey man, keep working your way up into the rotation. Michael Kirksey, want to know, was that a pop the trunk moment?
Most definitely. When I put the picture of y'all be like, oh hell yeah, yes, most definitely.
Eric Levin T said even though they lost, they put up a real fight tonight.
Yeah, but they consistently put up fights for about 3.5 quarters for a lot of games. And Ray said this early season, as soon as they get rocked, it's over. And I knew it was coming because early in the fourth quarter, they was, battling. One team, Philly, had the lead, and they'd come back and get the lead and be on the bench. I'm like, this y'all chance. Because when he come in, if it's close or they got the lead, it's over. And showing up, they had the lead when he came back in. And let me get that 50.
Hey, man, look, they got 24 hours to think about it. They head up to Barclays to deal with the Nets. And again, trying to put together 4 quarters so they can leave to add a number to the right side of the win column because it's been stuck on 3 for a little bit. Stuck on 2 before that. It's just not a good look. Appreciate y'all this evening. We appreciate you guys tuning in live and those of you that watch a little bit later as well. And we'll check in with you guys then. Don't forget to get over to the Focus TV on Instagram. Cardell said he's going to have them pictures up for y'all later on Bilal's dunk, amongst many other pictures from tonight. So don't forget that. Y'all have a good one.